You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. We're now joined in the studio with James. James, as always, it's great to see you back here.
Yes, hello Daniel, and thank you for inviting me back once more.
Well, I was wondering if you could give us a little bit of an introduction, first of all, into the Kent County Council Community Wardens before we move on to our subjects for this evening.
Yeah, sure. Well, community wardens are people who aim to improve the life of people in Kent so that they can live safely and independently in their communities. We do provide a visible uniform presence and are regarded as the focal point for inquiries in the community. If you haven't got the answers ourselves, we'll advise on further points of inquiry. We befriend the elderly and vulnerable members of the community who may otherwise feel alone or friendless. We are accredited by Kent Police, who takes an active role in the initial training of new wardens. They ensure that our training is up to a particular standard and has covered particular topics. Each person has got to achieve a particular standard, as each subject of our training could be met on a daily basis, and the accreditation badge on our left arms refers to this scheme.
Can our listeners find out who their community warden is in our area?
Right, well, the easiest way is through the website where we have, which is www.kent.gov.uk/community wardens. Although there are three of us on the island. It's myself in Laysdown and Warden, there's Cheryl Hendry in Minster, and Dave Osborne in Sheerness. There's also two other wardens who are based off the island. It's Nick Mayett in Kemsley and Iwade, and Georgina Springle in Newington. And we have our supervisor Paul Crisp, who is based jointly at the Swale Community Safety Unit in the Swale Borough Council offices in Sittingbourne, and the Swale Bridge Partnership in Sheerness.
And James, do you work alongside the police, or are you independent?
We are independent from the police, although we do work closely with them, because many of the items that we deal with are also matters of criminal law. For example, we've got things like fly-tipping, graffiti, vandalism and antisocial behaviour.
So, James, how do you engage with the community then?
Well, I engage with them by meeting with them on any and every occasion when I can. I regularly patrol the streets in my area on foot, and I'm approachable at all times when I'm not on duty on the street or at the office in Laysdown. I won't say that's not my job. I'll meet with groups and give presentations, and I'll always be pleased to discuss any item with any person. If I don't know the answer myself, I will always do my best to find the person who has got the answers. Another way that community wardens can engage with the residents of Sheppey is at the Sheerness Gateway every Monday between midday and 1 o'clock, where someone will be on hand to answer any queries which you may have.
James, do you give talks to clubs and groups in our community?
We'd be very pleased to speak to any groups and let them know what we do and how we can help. I consider it very important for people to understand what the role of a community warden is and how we fit into community life. Far too many people fail to understand that we are not police officers, even though we may work and cooperate with the police force. Community wardens have no powers of arrest other than those of the civil community. We're always keen to let people know the range of our work and how we can help to improve the quality of life within the community.
Studio at the moment with our regular guest James Crane from the Kent County Council Community Wardens. James, I know you next wanted to talk about dogs in cars.
Yes, certainly. Especially with the weather going as it is at the moment, we've had a couple of days of good weather, probably about a week or so. It's set to get hotter by the end of the week, so I think this is going to be something that's going to be quite important to cover. But years ago there was a slogan that went around. I think it's very important to remember it, and that is "Dogs die in hot cars." And this is very true. It can get unbearably hot in a car on a sunny day, even when it's not that warm. I mean, we've all gone back to our car when it's been in the sun, opened the door and been hit with a wad of heat that comes out of it. But when it's 22 degrees, that's 72 Fahrenheit, outside, within an hour, the temperature inside the car can reach 47 degrees Celsius, which is 117 Fahrenheit, and that's just within an hour. Humans have sweat glands to regulate their body core temperature by transferring excess body heat to the skin, where it's then evaporated by the sun and wind in sweat. Dogs don't have this luxury, as they can only regulate their body temperature through their pores and with the air that they breathe. So if a dog is left in a car with the windows sealed, then the rising air temperature will cause the animal to severely overheat, and in very extreme temperatures, or if they're not checked regularly, they will die. So to avoid this, quite simply, don't leave the dog in a car at all. But if you have to, leave a window open, or even just leave 2 windows open, only a couple of inches, 2 to 3 inches, so that the drafts can get through and cool the car inside down. Leave a decent supply of water for the dogs so that they can get a drink, but remember to keep the water in a shaded area. This will serve 2 purposes. One, they'll keep the water cool, and secondly, it can give the dog somewhere to shelter from the sun. And return to the vehicle periodically and check on the welfare. And the other one is, don't take the dog with you. If you're going to take the dog out in the car and then leave it sitting in a car park somewhere, just don't take the dog with you. They can have the run of a room or a couple of rooms in your house. They've got shade, they've got water. It's going to be fairer on the dog. The RSPCA take a very serious view on dog owners who leave their dogs in hot vehicles, and they can impose a person who's guilty of any of the offences under a whole list of sections. And the penalties for it can be imprisonment or fine, sometimes both. But in certain cases, animals can be seized from the owner and a ban put on that person for owning animals for a period of time.
And I know you next wanted to cover hydration and sun cream, James.
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes to enjoy the sunny weather, as it's not very often in Britain that we can do so at times, even though the weather reports are saying that this week's going to be hotter than the south of France or somewhere. But anyway, it's important that you can remember a key phrase, and it's 3 S's: slip, slop, slap. And basically what that boils down to is it's telling you to slip on the light shirt, so it just keeps most of the sun off your body. Slop on the sunblock, it's going to reduce your risk of sunburn. And slap on a hat to keep the sun off your head. Sunburn can be a major contributor to melanomas, and these can lead to the early onset of skin cancer. And so protecting yourself with sun cream is very important. It's also important to remember to keep hydrated. Bottles of water are relatively inexpensive, and they provide essential water to get it to you, and it reduces the chances of you starting to suffer from dehydration. Many people say that they are starting to become dehydrated when they start feeling thirsty. In fact, by the time someone starts to feel thirsty, they've already lost about 1/3 of their body's water content and are well on the way to dehydration. So the key to staying hydrated in the summer is to ensure you drink a small amount of water on many occasions. And by ensuring these things are done, then you should be perfectly suited to safely enjoy the sunshine.
James, before you go, I was just wondering if you could cover some of those useful contact details for us.
Yes, certainly. I want to quickly jump back to right at the very start when I said about how to find your community warden through the website. Took a look on one of the computers up here earlier to check that, because I heard Daniel tell me that the link I gave wasn't working, and that is actually the case. So the web link that I gave you, having found it is about a mile long, this new one, since Kent County Council have redone their websites. So what I'll say is, if you go on to www.kent.gov.uk, that will bring up the Kent County Council homepage. On the search bar, just type community wardens, and we should appear as the top option on the search bar. Then you can choose the different teams. We're obviously in the swale team, and you'll be able to contact us all from there. But other contact details, we have Kent Police. Their non-emergency number is 101. You can call them for pretty much anything on that number. And obviously we all know the emergency number is 999. Thurrock Council, obviously to report fly tipping, graffiti, anything like that, contact the dog warden, parking services, etc. It's 01795 417 850. And Kent Highways, obviously any issues you may have, vegetation, potholes, street lighting, anything like that, they are on 03000, that's 03 and 3 zeros, 418181.
James, as always, thank you very much for coming along, and we'll see you in another couple of months.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for inviting me along once more, Daniel.
That is James Crane right here at BRFM on the Monday Night Community Show with me, Daniel, this evening.